Hey y'all, welcome to the second half with A. Marie, where the vibe is peace, love, and prosperity. If you are new to the channel, please make sure that you share, like, and subscribe. If you learn anything from this video, if you feel the vibe, subscribing to the channel would be greatly appreciated. For my returning subs, thank you for your support. I greatly appreciate you. The channel is growing, and I'm glad that the content that I'm putting out is helping most of you. So let's go ahead and get into this video. Like I said in my previous video, we are going to talk about the notary fundamentals. This is actually part 2. If you have not watched part 1, I do recommend that you go back and watch part 1 of the video that I recorded, I think probably 5 or 6 days ago. Okay. Important aspects of a notarization. Guys, it's very important that before you step into any role as a notary, whether you are stepping into a role as a remote online notary, whether you are taking a new journey as a loan signing agent, or if you're simply doing general notary work, you need to have a basic understanding. So step into your journey with an understanding of the notary basics. All right. There's 5 steps to most notarizations. Now, I do want to have put out a full disclaimer here. Everything that I am talking about is based on the notarial laws for the state of Virginia. A lot of the processes are going to be the same from state to state, but there may be some states that are different. I hear that Florida, California, and Texas have way different rules and requirements than a lot of other states do. So please make sure that as you venture into this journey that you are understanding and researching your state laws so that you are protected as a notary. Okay, so 5 steps to most notarizations. One, you want to identify the signer. Make sure that they present you with proper ID based on your state laws. You want to review the document. You have to look over the document and make sure that it's even something that can be notarized. You want to screen the signer and verify the facts. You want to make sure that the signer is signing the document of his or her own free will, that they're not being coerced. You want to make sure that they understand the document. You know, if there's witnesses that are required, you want to make sure that the witnesses are there. So you do want to make sure that you screen and verify the facts of the notarization before proceeding. The state of Virginia does require that all notarial acts be recorded in a notary journal. And I do know that there are some states that do not require this. And that, again, is why it's very important to make sure that you understand what your state requirements are. I will say this, even if the state of Virginia did not require a notary journal, I personally would still document all of my notarizations in a journal. I just feel like if anything happens and you get caught up in a situation where something has to go to court, you'll have your records in your journal and you'll be able to pull that up and show that as proof of you performing this notarial act the proper way. All right. Number 5 says complete, sign, and seal the notary certificate. You want to make sure that you have a clear seal, that the seal is in the proper space, that your signature is exactly the way that your notarial stamp is, and any other requiring anything else that your state requires. All right. Again, know your state laws. All right, notarizations, what they can and cannot certify. So what a notarization can and cannot do, okay? What a notary needs from a signer. First of all, you have to make sure that their signature is authentic. That's going to be by you making sure that they have the proper ID and that person is in front of you, that you actually see them sign the document. The signer signed the document of his or her own free will. They're not being coerced by anyone. They're not being forced to sign the document. This is something that they are doing willingly. The signer understands the contents of the document. They know exactly what they're signing. You are not able to give any type of advice, okay? Remember that. You, as much as we want to help, you cannot advise a signer on anything. That's not what your job is. You're not there to do anything other than to make sure that that person is who that they say they are, that there is no funny business going on with the signing of these documents, okay? Explaining or interpreting a document to a signer is a no-go. You are not an attorney and you are not allowed to do that. Please do not do that, okay? Again, make sure they understand the contents of the document. If the signer made a statement under oath, make sure that you perform the oath. All right. The signer understands and agrees that by signing the document, they legally bind themselves to the terms in the document. The signer needs to understand that once you put your signature on this document, you legally bind yourself to the terms of the document, whatever they are. Okay. And if you are certifying a copy, we want to make sure that what you are certifying is authentic. It is an authentic copy of the original. All right, those are very clear. And again, these are the laws for the state of Virginia. I'm sure most of the laws may be similar, but again, it's up to you to make sure that you do your due diligence and understand your state law. Okay, remember, just because it's notarized, it does not guarantee that the content in the document is accurate. That's not your job, and that's not what a notarization does. It doesn't make sure that the document is true or accurate. Notarizations, a notarized document, does not make it a legal document. Again, and like I said, remember, it's not your responsibility as a notary to determine whether the content in a document is true or not. That's not what we're here for. We are simply here to make sure that you are who you say you are and that that signature is your signature. Okay, we need to, our job is to make sure that we attach or that we notarize a document according to our state laws. All right. So what are the types of notarial acts that you may encounter? Now, I put electronic notarization on there, and I don't necessarily, I just added that because for the electronic notarization, the state of Virginia requires specific information to be on a certificate. So I just added that. I don't, I may be wrong. Hit me up in the chat if I'm wrong, but I haven't seen an electronic notarization certificate. Okay. I just added that in there because if you're doing an electronic notarization, it's either going to be an acknowledgement, a jurat, or a copy cert. Okay. But because you're doing an electronic notarization, there's certain information that needs to also be included on that certificate. Okay. So I said 4 types of notarial acts. An electronic notarization, you're not going to get a cert saying that, oh, this is an electronic notarization. I just added that. Hopefully it doesn't confuse you. An electronic notarization, there's not going to be a certificate for that. You are just going to make sure that whatever your state, if you are able to do electronic notarizations in your state, that you have all of the information listed on either the acknowledgement, the jurat, or the copy cert. Those are the things that you could notarize electronically. Okay. Now, every notarial certificate must contain the following. Number 1, you must have your notarial statement. 2, the date of the notarial act, the location, where, the city and the county that it took place, um, the state or county. I know for Virginia, it's the state and the county that needs to be on the notarial certificate. Okay, make sure that you understand your state laws. Again, I can't say that enough. It is very important for you to follow your state laws. For Virginia, the expiration date of the notary's commission must be listed, my signature, my registration number, and then my notary seal or stamp that can be copied. It has to be, it has to be legible. Okay. So again, the information is based on the notary laws for the state of Virginia. And the good thing about this is you can actually go back and review this as many times as you want to. This is something that I wish that I had when I was doing my research on becoming a notary. So that is why I presented it in this format, because to see it and to be able to go back as many times as I need to is more helpful than just listening to someone. So I wanted to present this to you in a way that was going to be effective for me, and hopefully this will be effective for you in learning your duties as a notary. All right. So one of the notary certificates is called an acknowledgement. What is the purpose? Now, I had no clue in the very beginning what the difference between an acknowledgement, a jurat, a copy certificate. I didn't know what they were, right? I didn't know when I was going to use them, and I absolutely did not know their purpose. And they each serve a different purpose. So let's get into this. An acknowledgement, you first you identify the signer, and then the purpose is to have the signer acknowledge that he or she signed the document. They are acknowledging that they are the ones that signed the document. Now I do want to point something out. Here is all the information listed on this acknowledgement, where you say city, county, Commonwealth of Virginia. The instrument was acknowledged before me. That's your date by the person seeking the acknowledgement. So whoever it is that is going to be signing, that their name goes there. And then my name goes below that, notary public signature, notary, the notary seal, notary registration number. Those are two things that need to go there. And then the date that my commission expires. I do want to let you know in advance, when I go to the jurat, some of this information is missing from the notarial cert. So I must have just inadvertently deleted the registration number, my commission expiration date, and all of that. But just know that those are the things that need to be, for the state of Virginia, that need to be included in a um, uh, acknowledgement or a jurat. Okay. Again, this is an acknowledgement, and you are simply, the signer is simply acknowledging that he or she signed the document. You know it's an acknowledgement because you see the word, the foregoing instrument was acknowledged before me. Remember that. This is an acknowledgement, okay? And then at the bottom it says notary seal, where I would put my stamp. Now this is the jurat. It's to identify the signer, and then you have the signer swear or affirm that the statements in the document are true. This is different than the acknowledgement, where they were acknowledging that they are the signer of the document. Here, they are acknowledging that the statements in, are not acknowledging, they are swearing or affirming that the statements in the document are true. And with a jurat, you will have to perform an oath. Okay. Remember, I said that some of the information in this notarial certificate was missing. I think I just edited it out without realizing it before I put this together. But city, county, Commonwealth of Virginia, the foregoing instrument was subscribed and sworn before me. Whenever you see sworn or affirm, you know that you are going to have to perform an oath. You want to give them an option of which one they want to do, and make sure that you have all of the required information for your state laws. Okay, again, I'm missing a couple of things here. And then at the bottom, there goes my notary seal. Okay, and then a copy certificate is just simply, it certifies that you are it's a copy of an original. Okay, so certifies that the copy is an accurate reproduction of the original. And that's simple as that. And then here is the electronic notarization. Now this would be an acknowledgement, because if you look through it, it says acknowledge before me this day of this 15th day of December, blah blah blah. You know it's an acknowledgement because it says acknowledgement. Now this, I wanted to add this to the presentation just simply because um, you have to have, it has a little bit, the wording is a little different. Like it says, this notarial act was performed in person, remote, or a remote notarization, right? So this is different. You're not going to see that on a regular jurat or an acknowledgement, but this is an electronic notarization. So this information for the state of Virginia needs to be added if you are performing um, a, a notarial act electronically. You have to make sure that you add this notarial act was performed via remote notarization. You have to make sure that that's included, okay? You can do a little bit more research to get a little bit more information on what your state requires. And if you're a Virginia notary, you can also do the same. Okay, closing thoughts. Basically, I just wanted to reiterate, know your state laws. I hope that this was helpful for you because in the very beginning, I just jumped into wanting to be a loan signing agent. I was watching everybody talk about how they were making $10,000 a month, how easy it was, and how lucrative the business was. But I had no clue where to begin. I took the loan signing course through the NNA. I passed it, but I didn't have the notary basics. Like I started in a place where I wasn't going to be successful because I didn't have a basic understanding. So I hope that this is helpful for you. I hope that this is going to move you in your journey with a little bit more confidence. And again, know your state laws, know what a prudent notary does, what is a notary, what is expected of you, and what is expected of the signer. Protect yourself, protect yourself, protect yourself, because you don't want to get caught up in any situations, okay? So, on that note, I am going to end by saying please make sure that you share, like, and subscribe, okay? Make sure that you love yourself first, because if you don't love yourself, how can anybody else love you, right? Okay, you got to teach people how to love you, and that starts with you loving yourself. And on that note, I want to um, wish you peace, love, and prosperity. And I look forward to seeing you on Notary Fundamentals Part 3. You guys have a blessed day.